Hello everyone, how you guys? ご皆さんご機嫌いかがでしょうか？今日も可能性無限大 This is TAROSAC ということで、今日の動画では世界のコロナの現状を聞いてみたというテーマでやっていきたいと思います。皆さんコロナの自粛やらマスクやら、それこそ旅行に行きたいし地元に帰りたいけど、でも人の目がとか、人それぞれストレスの大小は違うと思うんですけど、みんなね、すごくこのコロナのストレスにうんざりしてると思います。どうしても何か行動するにもなかなかね、動きづらい世の中だと思うんですよ。そんな今日この頃ですけど、実際のところ海外各国の生活は今どんな感じになってるのか、日本と何か違うところはあるのか、実際に今日はこれから海外に住んでる外国人たちに、今現状その国の生活はどうなっているのか、みんなコロナに関する考え方はどういう風になっているのかといったところを今日インタビューしていきたいと思います。僕のチャンネルではこうやって外国人へのインタビュー動画ですとか海外関連の役立つ情報を毎週配信してます。見るだけで頭の中がグローバル化すること間違いなし。面白いと思ってもらえた方はぜひチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。インスタグラムの方では役立つプチ海外情報からたまに、視聴者さんから DM いただいてそれにね、お返しさせていただいたりもしてますので、ぜひまだフォローしてないという方はそちらのフォローもよろしくお願いします。ということで早速いきましょう。Stacy, are you from UK?
I am indeed. I'm from England.
Do you live in England now?
No, I don't. I live in Cambodia in Southeast Asia.
Okay, that's perfect. Because today I've been asking Cambly tutors about situation with the COVID in your country and where you live.
Yep.
What's the life like in Cambodia at the moment? Is it normal or still like many?
No, we have restrictions. So we have an alcohol ban. So no bar, restaurant, or shop or supermarket are selling alcohol. 10 p.m. curfew, so you need to be at home between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. We have a ban on gatherings, so you can't have any more than, I think it's 15 people in like one area or one building.
Sounds pretty similar to Australia. I live in Australia, by the way. Do people get vaccines in Cambodia or not many?
No, there's a huge movement right now. So they vaccinated the majority of people, I think, because like even all the expats, we got vaccinated twice. We have both our doses of Sinopharm.
Does the government say like, oh, if we reach up to this point, like we're gonna be free or something like that, or you're just not sure yet?
No, yeah, they are. So actually in Asia, I think they're second of being the most vaccinated country. But yeah, they're aiming to vaccinate 80%. That's their goal.
Do still people wear masks outside?
Yeah.
How's the life in UK though?
So they just opened everything back up in the UK, so everyone's really excited and really happy. But they do have restrictions, so you can go out and you can go to the supermarket. You still need to wear... I don't know actually. I think it might have changed. Before, they had to wear their masks. But now I think it's your choice.
Or your choice.
Yeah, so Boris Johnson was like, no, it's Freedom Day. Everything's going back to normal. But the NHS, our National Healthcare System, strongly advised against it. They're like, still social distance, still wear your masks, please.
But there's no penalty.
No, there's no penalty, no. It's very like contradicting.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can go to bars and restaurants, but like nightclubs, they're saying that in the nightclubs you have to show your vaccine card. You have to be vaccinated twice.
Do people wear masks though? Or not many people wear masks anymore?
People are selfish in the UK. I think there's probably about 50-50. Because you have like the sensible people who care about others, but then you have the arrogant people who are selfish. So I think it's quite mixed.
One of my friends, he's Japanese, he lives in Japan. He wants to go overseas for holiday. Because some countries are welcome, you know, already open up everything. And it's not illegal. But he was kind of hesitating because if I go there, maybe if I post something on Instagram, people will look at me like, oh, like, why are you doing this at the moment? Even though it's not breaking anything.
Yeah.
Do you have this kind of like people's eye in your country or in Cambodia?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, do you?
I think it's much more diverse. So like with Japan, you are very much like, it's all your people together. Japan is like very, like, distinctly, you have a lot of Japanese culture. It's not very diverse. Whereas like in England, like we have a lot of different religions. We have a lot of different cultures. We have people from all over the world who live in England. So it's very different, I think, there. Like, also like different age ranges. Like, it's just much more diverse in England. So there's not like, it's not like society has this one idea of like how you should act and how you should be. It's actually, it's very different. It's very your own. It's very solo. It's like, this is my belief. I can think it. You're wrong. It's very much like that.
Yeah, that's why people have like a different opinions, right? Because so many cultures, so many people there. So like, if you trust in one thing, you just do it as long as you're not hurting someone or you're not.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, interesting. And Cambodia is more like a Japanese side, I guess.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you can tell it's Asian. Yeah, so like 90% of the people here are Buddhist.
Yeah.
And like they were wearing masks before the pandemic, so like it's just a natural part of their culture. When they were growing up, if they get sick, they wear a mask to protect other people. It's automatic.
Yeah. True.
So yeah, so like you go outside, there's not one person not wearing a mask. In England, I feel like it's very different.
Yeah. Okay, very good to know. That's what I wanted to hear today. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you too. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
So today I'm actually asking tutors on Cambly about the life with COVID. How's the life with the COVID in your country now?
Well, even though I am from the United States, I actually live in Guatemala. So Central America is where I live.
Central America, yeah. Okay, let's start from the life in US. You talk to your parents, you talk to your friends, right? What's the situation like there?
Okay, the situation with my friends and my family that live in the United States is, it seems like about a month ago or a little bit over that, everything went back to normal. Okay, so when I say normal, I mean there's no social distancing, everything's open.
Wow.
It has went back to as much as you can imagine normal being. But since I'm not there, to me, I think it's a false sense of normal. And, it's a false sense of everything's back to normal. I feel like they're really just getting ready to have like an even bigger lockdown. And they want to make people feel safe. That's what you have to do for Americans.
Yeah.
You do.
There's no restrictions there, right?
There's none whatsoever. And I was hearing from someone, a student on Cambly, that their friends in the States said it's actually in some places against the law to wear a mask, which to me sounds so strange. It's like against the law, because I think they're thinking that if people are wearing masks, there might be like more crime going on. So they don't want that. So I've never heard of that's not happening in Colorado, but I've heard that in other places.
So you reckon not many people wear a mask anymore there?
Nobody does. Like I would say 90% of the people don't wear a mask. I ask my friends if they see anybody wearing masks and they're like, no. Maybe a couple older people, but that's it.
How about Guatemala?
In Guatemala, you have to. If you go in public, if you want to go into any type of store, bank, anywhere, you have to have a mask on or they will not serve you.
Okay, so you have to wear a mask in Guatemala, and then that's a restriction, like you have to pay fine or something?
It's not that you have to pay a fine, you just won't be let into any type of public store, business.
Oh, right.
So that's what it is, and that's why people do it.
The other day I was talking to one of my Japanese friends. He lives in Japan, he's Japanese. He wants to go overseas for holiday. And then, I mean, like US welcome people, right? Welcome people from other countries. People can still go to holiday in Europe. I think US is fine. But then he said he's kind of like hesitating to do it because Japanese people's eyes, or the perspective. I mean, people look at him. Are you sure? Like, are you sure you want to do this?
Yes.
It's legal. It's not breaking anything. But are you sure you want to do this? So he's hesitating because he don't want to be looked fool. Like,
he doesn't.
Something like that in the US as well.
No, I think in the US, everybody is definitely like, no, we should be allowed to go wherever we want. It should be back to normal. It's just, I would say it's just more the typical United States. There is an entitlement there of how things should be. And that's why I actually am so relieved that I'm here in Guatemala during this pandemic, because the perspective is a lot different than over there. Like in the United States, it's very much, we don't have to wear masks. That's against our rights. Instead of thinking like, okay, for my own safety, or maybe not even my own, but for my fellow neighbor. That's just in perspective of the United States and other countries. So so they're happy to be going places and being able to do stuff. And that's fine too, to each their own. That's great. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm glad I'm here.
Very much for your cooperation.
Hello, how are you?
Not bad at all. How are you?
I'm very good. You don't.
Yeah.
Your accent. Where are you from?
I live in Australia now.
I can hear that.
Oh, really?
I can hear that very clearly. Yeah, very clearly. You have the Australian accent, yeah?
Well, I've been here for 6 years now. I can't speak like American. I can speak like a British people a little bit because I used to have a lot of friends, but I think it's all mixed up now. So today, actually, I've been asking tutors on Cambly about how's the life in your country or where you live with the COVID. How's life in Vietnam? Are there still like restrictions or it's like completely free?
At the moment, there are restrictions in trying to curb the spread of the virus. I think I read an article where one of the areas they're not allowed for like a whole week. Nobody's allowed to leave their house. They have to make sure that they have provisions at home.
How about South Africa? Like, do you have restrictions there, or like is it more like free?
South Africa, when I do research on them and I speak to family from there, they have more freedom, but that doesn't help control the virus. South Africa is a democratic country, but it has a lot of political infighting between the political parties.
Yeah.
And so the president will make a decision, and instead of the rest of the country standing with the president, that the president has been elected, certain political parties fight against him, and like there's controversy as to whether people should take the vaccine or not. There's controversy as to whether you actually should be wearing a mask. Like stupid things where like it makes logical sense that
just people are not on the same page.
Yeah, they're like I think in South Africa too many people follow conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Do many people wear masks there, or okay, let's say in Vietnam and South Africa, sorry.
So South Africa, there's a lot of people that don't wear masks. They like just don't care. Then there's a lot of people that do wear masks. I think most people wear masks, but like Vietnam, it's the opposite. Most people wear masks. There's like very little that will not wear a mask, because in Vietnam, if you get caught by the police not wearing a mask, it's $100 fine.
South Africa, you don't have this kind of rule.
I'm pretty sure they have the rule, but I don't think the police can enforce it. There's rules, but people just get away with it. Like,
okay.
It's not like in Vietnam, if the police stop you and the police say, you're not wearing a mask, you can't argue with them. Like, they've caught you.
Yeah.
You can't run away. They will find you. But in South Africa, it's different. I mean, if one police officer stops you, you just, bye. Where's your proof? Where's your proof?
So one of my friends who's Japanese, he wants to go for overseas for holiday, but he's kind of like hesitating, stopping himself from doing that because in Japan, it's Asia, people's eye look at you like, why are you doing this? I know you're not breaking law or anything, but why are you doing this? So he doesn't want to get, sorry about my French, but he doesn't want to get from people. Do you have this kind of like culture in South Africa, like not wearing masks too? Like people wear masks, even like they're not seeing anyone. They're so far away from people on the street because if they don't, they're like a minority. They look like kind of like idiot, selfish. Do you have this kind of like thoughts in South Africa?
Some people would think like that, and then other people, it depends. The issue with masks, like in Vietnam, if I'm out and I see somebody not wearing a mask, I have a little bit of ill feelings towards them because I'm like, you could have come into contact with somebody and now you're in contact with me, or you're in contact with somebody that I know. And what if you are carrying the virus? You're being irresponsible. But like
in South Africa,
no.
It's not going to work like this.
People don't usually have that mentality. Some people do, but it depends.
But people more like they have their own strong mind.
Depends on their political view.
That's what I wanted to ask you today.
been a pleasure meeting you.
バイバイ、Thank you. はい、ということで今日は割とね、真面目なトピックだったんですが、それこそコロナが蔓延し始めた頃とかは、どの国もね、こう焦ってやばい、どうなるの、気をつけなきゃみたいな感じだったと思うんですけど、それからだいぶ時間が経って今になってみると、なんかお国柄というか文化というか、住んでる場所によって、だいぶ人の考え方って異なってきてるのかなというふうに最近すごく感じていたので、今日はこういう動画をやってみました。いろいろ考え方は異なりますけど、よしあしは置いといて、やっぱり異なる国の人たちの異なる意見を聞くのってすごく面白いなと思ったし、改めてこういう違う考え方とかを聞くのは、僕自身ね、すごく勉強になったなと思いました。見るだけで頭の中グローバル化しちゃったよ。最後まで見てくれた皆さん、ありがとうございます。面白いと思ってもらえた方はチャンネル登録忘れずに、高評価も忘れずに、また次の動画でお会いしましょう。Bye for now.